welcome to episode 4 of the Footy Social. This week we have Boyd with us, who is an Aston Villa fan. So we'll be talking about Villa for a good 25 minutes or so. Then also we've got our weekly quiz, which I'll be doing, which Dan and Boyd will be taking part in. It's currently 2-0 to the hosts. So
yeah, that's a given.
Boyd is trying to half the deficit for the guests today.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be finishing off with just general Prem chat. We're going to probably delve into the Champions League because there are some good games this week just gone, as well as the Europa League games that are happening right now. So.
Well, I mean, speaking of Europa League, is that your aim for the season?
I'd say yeah. Top 4 is obviously always going to be a dream, but it's never going to happen.
You were a bit excited about it at the beginning of the season.
But games in hand FC. But.
When are you going to play those Tottenham and Everton?
Well, Everton still need to be scheduled. We haven't even played Everton yet this season. we haven't played Spurs this season yet, but we've got Spurs next week because they're out the FA Cup. So are we. So
is that the rescheduled game? Or?
Yeah, that's the game at Villa Park.
And them two are your main rivals as well, aren't they?
Well, Liverpool as well. But
I guess you've got to throw them in
the next game at Anfield as well.
Yeah.
Oh.
You can make it 7 in a row.
7 in a row.
I still think it's.
Is it Liverpool Villa this weekend?
No, so we got Newcastle tomorrow, Friday.
Oh yeah.
And then we got Spurs, the rescheduled game, and then Liverpool.
Yeah,
but it's in our own hands to get Europe. I still think.
Do you think you will?
Well, Grealish is back for the Spurs game. It's been said.
Right.
Matty Cash is back for Friday, so we've got our team back. It's just where we kick on, but.
There's a lot of team pushing for that area, so it's going to be a tight one. If you
Yeah,
hit a good run of form, there's no saying you won't, but there's a lot of teams going for it. Usually there's a team's drop off, and it becomes a bit easier towards the end of the season.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tight games. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, I think you got West Ham, you got Everton, and you've got Tottenham, who I think
and Chelsea.
Come on now, grow up. We're top 4 guaranteed. So you're battling with the other bums.
I don't think you are, but.
So I got a question from Charlie Waweg, which sort of ties in. Warg, right? Okay. He says, where will Everton finish? So basically, how about Boyd? I'm just going to say from 5th to 8th. Give me your order.
Okay, so.
Because obviously Chelsea in the top 4. That's
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Yeah, good boy.
West Ham 5th because they just look like they're not going to. I reckon the Chelsea-West Ham game decides who gets 4th. Now that is the one.
That's in a couple of weeks.
So obviously
big game.
Yeah, and then so 5th, obviously West Ham or Chelsea in my eyes.
No.
6th, that's a tough one. See, Spurs won't. Yeah, I reckon it'd be West Ham / Chelsea, Spurs.
Spurs? You're putting Spurs that high up?
Yeah, and I reckon we'll get 7th. I can't see Liverpool getting top 7.
So you think you're going to finish above Everton?
So you get Everton 8th.
Yeah, it'd be Liverpool in 7th, 8th or 9th.
And then I think I disagree, not with Everton but with Liverpool. I think all it takes is for them to go back to what they were, and they could get top 4.
Yeah, that's the thing though. Liverpool. Everyone says it's the defence. Their attack is not on fire. Can you imagine? So their
attack is good. It's just they're not playing well at the moment.
But
they've basically got 3 or 4 players off form all at once.
They battered Leipzig over 2 legs, who are second in the Bundesliga. So they haven't lost it altogether. Leipzig got to a semi-final of the Champions League last year. And they knocked out Man United out of the Champions League. So Leipzig aren't no mugs. So Liverpool might get back together. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, George WHU, I assume that stands for West Ham United. I assume he's got a surname, but it was on his Instagram. Says,
I personally think Everton answer that question.
Pardon?
Can I answer the question as well?
Oh right, yeah.
I think Everton will finish 7th.
7th, okay.
Or 8th.
But you reckon out of Villa or Everton for that last?
I think this is how it'll go. Chelsea 4th.
Although I
think Chelsea 4th because I think they look good, but all it takes is for it all to flop because they haven't been amazing.
Do you know what we haven't thought about? We haven't thought about Leicester. We haven't thought about the Leicester collapse, which is probably imminent.
Yeah, true.
I suppose their injuries are just starting to kick in.
So you could even say Chelsea 3rd, West Ham 4th, and Leicester 5th.
That could be a possibility.
Now that's what I was talking to my dad about that. I said Chelsea and West Ham will both get top 4.
I think that would be pretty crazy.
I don't think we'll get top 4 personally.
I can't see you losing.
We've got Arsenal Man United this weekend. I think we'll lose. I think we'll lose this weekend.
I don't think you will.
We always bottle it against the big teams, so we get scared of the name, not the players involved.
Yeah,
we get scared. It's Man United. We get scared, go really defensive, and we just don't play, and they beat us.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like
I think were you saying Aston Villa are more likely to get like a big win under their belt?
Yeah,
West Ham towards the end of the season.
Like look at Burnley. Our game against Burnley. We'll lose that, but then we'll go and beat. I would say Liverpool at Anfield, but that's not really hard at the moment. We'll go and get a result against City. Obviously, I'm not going to say we will, but that's sort of Villa.
Yeah, I could
City
see
at
it.
home.
So basically, these are our next 4. So we've got Newcastle, obviously tomorrow, Spurs, Liverpool, City. It could be Kurt.
If he gets through that in a decent place, then it's European spots definitely on. It's same with us. Our next few games, obviously, we've just played City and Spurs and Leeds, but we've got Man United, Arsenal, Wolves, Chelsea, and Leicester. I think are our next 5. If we get through that in the European spots, or even in that, we've got ending the season is Everton, West Brom, Burnley, Southampton, and someone else. That's not great. Newcastle. Are there 10 games left?
Well, I don't know.
I think it's about that.
FC, so
I don't know. About that, yeah.
So I think if we get through our next 5 and we're looking good, but it's about Villa today. I'm just giving an opinion on the whole.
Yeah,
and we look good to be getting it. But yeah, it's interesting. Chelsea look the best out of the rest so far, but
we just look very well coached.
But then is it the honeymoon period?
There always is a honeymoon period, isn't there? Ollie had that honeymoon period exact same time as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but the thing is, Ollie managed Mould. Tuchel's actually been there and done that. Like, he's actually like a qualified coach, which is what I've been screaming for about 2 years.
Even qualified coaches have honeymoon periods.
Not at Chelsea, though. Not at Chelsea. You have 12, 15 months of success, and then you're gone. There's no such thing as a honeymoon period, really, when you just join.
Yeah,
I suppose.
Especially since we just don't really get people mid-season anymore. I think the last person we sacked mid-season was Jose back about 6 years ago, before Lamps this season, obviously. Well, yeah, so my question from George WHU was, what has to change at Liverpool / who should be sold? So we sort of started dipping our feet into it. So basically, I think there's quite a good one there. Who should be sold? Well, I think all 3 of us should say Firmino, because he is terrible.
He is terrible.
He's really not very good anymore.
I don't know.
A number 9 being a deep line forward. What is that?
I mean, it genuinely, the joke did actually work a couple of years ago, where his method of play did actually suit the team. But now he's just taking up space. It's like, he's literally just an invisible player on the pitch, just wasting.
I suppose he's got to go, but it depends how much you get for him. If you're not getting much for him, he's all right as a backup. In my opinion,
I don't think he'd be happy with a backup though.
No, honestly, you look at number 9s Liverpool had Suarez, Sturridge, Fernando Torres, and then you go to Roberto Firmino, a deep line forward. No, it's just no. They're literally.
I don't think they're selling because I think Klopp likes him too much.
And they're not going to get much money for him either, are they?
No,
I think
they're going to get more money selling Salah or Mane.
His first season was literally Sheffield United last season. Had a good season. They've been found out. He's been found out. And that's it. He's nothing now.
He was never really that clinical, was it?
I personally don't think Liverpool really need to get rid of many players. I think they need to bring players in. They need, for one, they need Van Dijk back, but they need a good partner in him.
I don't rate Gomez.
I don't rate Gomez. I don't like Gomez. I think
you'd have Konza over Gomez for your England squad.
Easily.
I think someone like just a good centre half, and expensive like Koundé maybe. He did well against Dortmund last night. I mean, they conceded a lot of goals, but Haaland is an absolute beast.
Yeah. Man United looking at Koundé as well. To be fair, I saw quite a lot.
Really,
I think quite a lot of teams will be looking at Koundé.
Yeah, I think Liverpool are all right in midfield, because if you don't have to play them centre back, they actually. I saw someone call Jurgen Klopp a genius to play Fabinho in midfield last night. I was like, that's his position.
He is.
Yeah. He is a midfielder.
He is one of the best defensive midfielders.
Yeah, he is, and he did. And if they had Fabinho, Henderson, Wijnaldum, and then even with Thiago in there playing like proper midfield, they could be a really good midfield. They don't need many more midfielders. I think an attacker just to add to that attack, because if there's an injury, they look a bit scarce. It's like a lot of pressure is on Salah to score goals.
I think Jota was a great sign. Jota was exactly what they needed.
If he hadn't got injured, I don't think they. If he was, they wouldn't be in the position they are now. Cause
I think they'd still be in trouble, but they would not have lost 6 games.
No.
6 games in a row.
He looks very good last night against. He didn't get a goal. He got an assist though.
He gets on the ball and actually drives and wants to go forward.
So if you're looking to get who you get now, surely they need to shift Shaqiri on.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the
Origi.
deadwood really.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
there's
the
no
ones
dead
that
shit
sit
But the
there.
issue is they tried that last year. They got rid of the deadwood like Lovren and just forgot to buy another one, which completely ruined their season.
That is literally
Well,
your
yeah.
point all the time.
So it's like if you're going to sell Shaqiri and Origi, who are both not good enough, make sure you actually buy somebody to replace them. Because one injury to Mane and suddenly you've got no wingers again, and you just got another. You're just going round in circles again.
With Liverpool, like I've got a couple of points to make it. They need to keep hold of Wijnaldum. They need to. Like
Wijnaldum.
I like
Is his
last
contract ending this
night,
summer?
This
Yeah.
summer. And obviously,
I think he'll stay because I think he likes it
I don't think he
under
will.
Klopp.
I think he'll go to Barcelona.
Oh, well, Barcelona are just as bad as Liverpool.
I know, but then it's the Dutch.
Especially when Messi, like if Messi's there, fair enough. You want to go over,
Yeah.
but if Messi's leaving,
I doubt Koeman's going to stay as well.
Yeah, he's only been there what 4 months, 5 months.
Yeah,
It's
but
his
that
start
was
season.
different president window, wasn't it?
Yeah,
They've elected a new president this
And
year.
yeah, my
this
second
month.
point is Thiago doesn't fit the Premier League. He needs to be in like the Spanish league, the Bundesliga, where he's got so much time on the ball.
Yeah.
He can,
Just don't buy anyone from
Yeah.
the Bundesliga,
well,
really.
you know,
Yeah.
I reckon if you stick Thiago in Man City's team, he'll do
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, but if you stuck John McGinn in Man City's team, he'd be the best midfielder in the league. You
He's
know,
the best
it's just
midfielder
Man
in
City.
the
Man City are just the best team in the league. Well, actually, Boyd, on that, Louis Rudd says McGinn, Souček, Kovacic, rank them.
Oh, that is tough.
I know my rank.
No, that is tough because Kovacic was easily Chelsea's best player last season.
He wasn't. He was Mason Mount.
That's just...
Even Tammy, if he remembered how to play football after January.
John McGinn was...
But it's not Tammy then.
If
He
you
wasn't Tammy.
remember last season, last Christmas, John McGinn broke his ankle, and then literally Villa had nothing in midfield.
I don't do if buts and maybes. He broke his ankle, so he's
Yeah, and then he was out. No, but that's not good. And then he come back post lockdown. He still wasn't 100%, but we had to force him in. I think you must have been about 60% John McGinn. Still, basically, got us up the pitch, got us the 3 points, and then I don't know.
I think what does it?
Because
All right.
I do really like John McGinn, but if you're comparing him to two,
What does
West
John
Ham
McGinn
is-
offer you that Kovacic doesn't?
Like John McGinn, I don't know because
He's tenacious.
yeah,
So is Kovacic. He doesn't score. Neither does Kovacic.
yeah, but
Gets maybe 1 assist every 4 or 5 games.
Mm.
So does Kovacic.
But
Probably less than that.
John
actually.
McGinn just doesn't stop running. I don't think he doesn't. He just doesn't stop. He's always 100. He's never like quick jog. He's always sprinting. He normally leads the press as well.
yeah.
with
The thing
Ollie
is,
Watkins.
you're not going to play Mo Farah in midfield, are you?
Yeah.
No, but like he can spray the ball. Like he can.
It should be a minimum requirement that you put effort in on a football pitch.
There's effort and then there's John McGinn. Like, but the thing is,
Souček puts in 100% every game. You see against Tottenham, he had blood dripping from his face.
Yeah.
He gets up to try to defend the shot.
That's the thing.
For me, in the order, all three are really good players, but Souček for me has to be number one, just from the goals that he gives to the team that the other two don't, and also his defensive work is much better than the other two. The aerial duels he's won, 180 aerial duels won this season, and it's like 80 more than anyone else. It's absolutely outstanding. The only play where
They lump every single ball to him though, don't they?
Yeah.
no, what do you mean?
Like from goal kicks and that. He
Like-
just wins everything, doesn't
Well, but also the opposition's lump. There's more opposition's lumping it in him winning it. But the only thing I would say that Souček probably isn't as good at as McGinn and Kovacic is passing. But when you've got Declan Rice next to you, who's good on the ball, you don't need to be as good passer.
See, my thing with Souček is like I don't know what he is.
Yeah.
Like I honestly
I
don't know
totally
what he is.
agree.
Every time I see him, he's either scoring a header or clearing from a corner. Like I forget, like he's not a midfielder because he doesn't midfield.
It's a
He
weird
attacks
one.
and
It's
he
a weird
defends.
one.
He doesn't midfield.
He makes late darting runs into the box and gets goals, and he's very good at it. And in the box, he's it's in the air or even along the floor. He's very good. He's in the right place. He's like a bit of a Kevin Knowledge better.
Like if you saw his heat map, it would literally be red, empty, and
But he's also an outstanding central defensive midfielder. Outstanding.
See,
I watch him week in week out.
Yeah,
And he is outstanding.
He is a very different Gala player to
He's not
McGinn.
gonna
I think
be-
McGinn and Kovacic
He's
is
not going to
more
be in the Man City
apt
team
comparison.
knocking it about. He's in.
he
He's
does the hard work, the dirty work.
He's going to be the CDM. He's not a passing CDM.
I think you got to compare Souček with Douglas Luiz, really, or like Fernandinho, that sort of sitting.
Souček's in his own kind of role. Like I can't compare him to anyone else in the Premier League.
Well, they call him the new Fellaini. That is basically the closest
He's
thing
better
to
than
him.
Fellaini
Really.
in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree. Honestly, I would
And he doesn't
say,
elbow everyone.
I would say he's the West Ham's version of Lampard. in the sense of the late runs, the goals. Because what did Lampard? Apart, like he scored and he was a brilliant midfielder.
Lampard's good pass for the ball and he wasn't necessarily defensive.
Lampard's passing
and
was
I was
absolutely
going to say,
amazing.
if you put them three, those three that were said, Kovacic, McGinn, and Suchek as a midfield three, it would be incredible. It would probably be one of the best midfield
Well, Suchek and Wright is the best midfield.
Well, you wouldn't score a down midfield from you wouldn't score a down goal from open play if you had them three midfielders. But that's my shoot with Kovacic.
Yeah.
Like, I think he is very easy on the eye, and there are some games where he completely controls midfields. In a lot of the big games, he really does control the midfield. Even with Jorginho, when Jorginho doesn't have to sort of run with his back to goal, then he's completely useless. You might as well just sub him off. But yeah, I just think there's just no end product there from Kovacic, and it's like it's all right because if you sort of if you dribble it 20 yards and then you give it to a winger who then crosses it and gets the assist, then that's fine. But I don't know, I do really like Kovacic and he is good on the eye, but I think he has to be managed very, very specifically, and I'd find that annoying if I was a manager with him in my squad.
Yeah,
you'd have to like with Suchek, you could just put him there and just say, do your thing. With McGinn, you can just say, go there, do me a job, help me out. Kovacic, you've got to put him in a midfield pivot. You've got to give him specific instructions on how to run the channels and stuff.
I think.
But technical ability is better.
McGinn and Mount maybe as a free if you're going with something like that. But okay, what was your? He's asked for an order. So
an order. I'd put.
If you had to play one, like nothing,
if I had to play one,
doesn't matter on how the team plays or tactics. You have. It's just picking. It's just your order of who you play. Doesn't matter if it's a passing team or a team's going to lump it, because otherwise that would have.
I would probably go Suchek 51%, Kovacic 49%, and then McGinn.
See, I'd be McGinn because I was watching week in week out. It'd be McGinn, very close to Suchek.
Suchek second.
Yeah, and then Kovacic third.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go Suchek, Kovacic, McGinn.
But by the way, I do really rate Kovacic. I still think he was Chelsea's.
Yeah, I mean they are three great players. It's not a slight in any of them really.
It's a good question.
Yep. So let's have a bit more Villa in depth. So Stephen Carter says, if you're gonna cry just hearing me say this question, if Villa sold Grealish in the summer, and I think his stipulation was you kept the same team you have now, but you sold Grealish.
You can't buy anyone.
Yeah, you can't buy anyone. You got a transfer ban. It's like we did a couple of years ago. Have a transfer ban. You sell your best player Grealish. Would you stay up?
Or Grealish gets injured for the season.
Or Grealish does his ACL and is out for the season. Would you stay up?
Yes.
Okay.
I would say, because going by the last 4 games, so what was it? Leicester at home. We just had
You lost
2-1. 2-1. The first 15 minutes, we weren't Villa. We sat back and defended. And I don't understand why. We come out second half and we were a lot better, and it looked like we had the sort of Grealish player in our team.
I think you sort of did what Joe said earlier. We just looked at the table and just thought, right, Leicester are third. They must be really amazing. Let's sit back and defend.
So our results were Leicester, we lost 2-1. We beat Leeds away 1-0. We lost to
Sheffield United. You were terrible. You were really bad.
We just couldn't score.
Yeah.
And then we drew to Wolves 0-0.
So that's sort of mid-table form.
That's 4 from 12.
Yeah, but I mean,
that's
4 from 12 is not mid-table.
That's worse than mid-table form. That's not relegation form, but it's
that's like Brighton.
15th,
that's like Brighton 16th, 17th.
All right, it's not. I would say it's mid-table form going by the performances, because Ollie Watkins will still score goals. Bertrand Traore.
Who's going to create him? Who's going to create him for Bertrand Traore? Though? I mean, not Bertrand. Ollie Watkins. Who's going to create him for Ollie Watkins?
If you take Grealish out of the team, it will make them play a bit differently. Make them play more like a team.
Yeah.
Whereas Villa sort of do look to give it to Grealish a lot, because I know he's the best player. That's what you do. But if you take him out, it's right, lads. We're a team now. We're obviously their team before.
Yeah, but you say that, but you still need the individual quality to make it work. Like I think Barkley's obviously turned into Barkley again, where you suddenly realise, he's actually not world class. He just sort of looks like it for 3 or 4 games and then disappears again.
The thing is, it's not that. It's so he got injured just before the COVID outbreak, and then he got, obviously, because he's literally probably renting a flat or something, so he's got no gym in his house, no nothing. The COVID outbreak happened. He couldn't go to the training ground. So what was that? Another like 2-3 weeks with no. So that was basically what he was out for about 5 weeks. So another 3 weeks without training. He's still not fully fit. So that's why he hasn't played, because he needs to get a whole week of training in. And so imagine this. So you train Monday to Thursday, full intense training. and then he plays 9 minutes on Saturday, still not fully fit. He is not good. So that's why he's not been playing the last 2 weeks, because he's just trying to get fully fit.
So you're saying that if Grealish went Barkley, well, look, let's assume let's assume you'd bought him on a permanent in January or something just for this, because he's in your squad at the moment.
Yeah.
So you're saying Barkley would step up?
Barkley and Bertrand Traore.
Okay, well, I've watched them both quite a lot, and my issue with Barkley is his footballing brain. I don't want to be horrible and call him thick, but he does not have a good footballing brain. He plays so much off instinct. Like, remember his debut, not his debut, like, remember that goal he scored against Leicester when you won 1-0? Yeah. He literally got the ball and he didn't have to think about it. He just thought, right, I'm just going to smash it because it's 94th minute. I'm just going to smash it. Bang, screamer. Against Liverpool in the Cup last year, did the same sort of thing. He got the ball, looked up, saw there was no options, thought, I don't know what to do. Let me just run and smash it. Screamer of a goal. If you give Barkley the ball and say, right, well, we want you to be the creator, and he has to stand there and think, like, really intricate, like, how can I make this through ball? How can I play these 1-2s? How can I play these sort of triangles? He can't do it. He really can't do it. And I remember the key game was when we first bought him, I think his debut was against Everton at home. And you could tell exactly what was running through his mind. He'd pick the ball up 40 yards out, shoot. Pick the ball up 40 yards out, shoot. Pick the ball up 40 yards out, shoot. It was ridiculous to watch. It's like, if you score one, obviously, because he's got the technical ability to score one, but it's just like, come on. Be sensible now. That's my issue with Barkley. I just think if you give him the keys to the team, he will absolutely crumble. I don't think he's got it in him.
I think we've got to go back to the question.
Would you go down?
Would you go down?
No.
I think no, because there's teams worse than you.
Yeah, I'd agree.
There are teams worse than you.
I'd be down there, but you'd finish about 15th.
He is just so good. Grealish is very good, and losing. Look at Real Madrid when they lost Ronaldo.
Yeah,
you know,
obviously
not the same level, but
do not think Grealish will ever leave. I do not think, because
we'll clip that when he does.
Yeah.
Okay, no, but like my point added on to this is our owners come to the club with a 5-year plan, and our plan was to.
Yeah, Lampard had a 3-year plan. He's gone after 1.5.
Yeah, but it's different. Our owners, they have ambitions. Like they, what's the basketball team called they own? Oh, it's going to really annoy me now. But they were like, pipped for like mid-table. He put a bit of money into the club, and now we're right at the top.
Different to Premier League.
Yeah, obviously, but like they've got ambitions and stuff, and they get it done. So our 5.
Yeah, I've got ambitions of sleeping Margot Robbie. It's never going to happen.
I think.
Yeah, but like,
it's all well and good having a 5-year plan, but in 5 years' time, Grealish is going to be 30. His career will be coming to an end.
That's but what?
And if he's stuck, like fair enough play, if he's at Villa. If you haven't won anything, he's never won anything in his career. I think
he's just going to be a Harry Kane, isn't he? He's just going to be a lower budget Harry Kane.
Yeah, I think he will leave. Maybe not this summer. In a couple of years' summer's time, I think if a big club like City, I think City's linked with at the moment. Like if Man City come in for you, you can win everything. Man City, and he'll fit in so well. He probably look at that team and just like get a little excited to play. Everyone wants to play in that Man City team at the moment.
His idol is Kevin De Bruyne.
I think he'd be great at Man United as well. They need creativity from the wings.
So
they've got about 4 strikers who all play on the wing. They don't have any actual wingers.
Apart from Bruno, a lot of players do go to Man United for big money and flop. Like I can list those: Sanchez, Lukaku, Mkhitaryan.
You can say Pogba as well.
Pogba, Falcao, Di Maria.
I think of those ones you've named, the only ones who were pure flops hadn't played in the Prem before. If you discount Sanchez, I think Lukaku is harsh to call him a flop. Obviously, didn't work out how they thought he would. Pogba hasn't worked out how they thought he would. I wouldn't say they were flops.
Lukaku wasn't a flop. He still scored about 20 goals in
he just didn't
Lukaku
suit
wasn't
them.
A flop
He just didn't
while
suit
he was
them.
there,
Really.
but you can call him a flop because he did leave on bad terms. And,
But going back onto the Grealish thing, we wanted to. We're still a year ahead of our 5-year plan that I'm going by. No, because our owners took over when I literally thought Villa were going to go down to League 1, League 2. We were 10 minutes away from going bust. Like it was that bad. And then our owners come in. We gave Steve.
How many years ago was that?
2.
So you got 3 years left of this 5-year plan.
Yeah. And
what was the aim?
So the first year they said obviously Steve Bruce was like just try and push for playoffs. And then obviously they didn't want to pump money into the club when he didn't really know what they were dealing with. Steve Bruce just didn't work out. He was playing the same tactics. I think it was playing Emil Jedinak centre back. We played 6 full-backs. It was just not fun. Not fun. Glenn Whelan stepped up, missed a penalty. Steve Bruce got sacked. There was a cabbage thrown at him. And then,
Steve Bruce is still a manager in the Premier League, by the way, somehow.
Dean Smith took over. I think his second game we lost to Brentford. 89th minute, Neil Maupay scored. My dad said Dean Smith isn't good enough for the manager's job. He was one of the that jumped straight on the bandwagon.
Do you still say that now?
I'll get onto that. There's debates on the kitchen table, I'll tell you that. But yeah, and then I said, right, so our next 10 games are against teams all around us. Birmingham, Forest, Derby, all teams. Grealish come back from his injury. He got given the armband. We won 10 games in a row, and we were 4th. And then we didn't look like we were going to lose. Got into the playoffs. Most nervous time I've ever been. Playoff final, last 7 minutes, so bad. Like, I was literally nearly crying.
Yeah, so the thing is, you're talking about all these positive things. So you're basically trying to say that Grealish has such an affinity for the club. Like, he's been through all these troubling times. He brought them up through the mud and everything, and he's brought them right up to the pinnacle. Now they're fighting for Europe and that. Mm-hmm. Let's say you fall apart. You finish 8th or 9th. You might get the Conference League. I think they're bringing that in next year, aren't they?
7th spot.
Yeah, the UEFA Conference League. So you might get that. Probably get knocked out of that in the round of 16 or something like that. And then next season, because you've been playing European football, you finish 12th. And then Grealish sort of thinks, maybe that was just a bit of a purple couple years, you know.
I don't think Grealish will leave because Villa do badly. I think even if Villa get Europa League, I can still see him going because he's good enough to be playing there, and it would be such a waste personally to see. It doesn't matter if it's Aston Villa, Everton, West Ham, whoever it is, Arsenal, Chelsea, if they're in that position. But if there's a player that's at that level, that should be at that level, fighting for titles, because even Chelsea aren't going to be fighting for titles, I don't think, in the next couple of years. You can disagree if you want, but I can't see them. I can't see them catching Man City. I think at all. I think if they get Haaland as well, then it's curtains for everyone else. You might as well just not turn up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Man City.
I don't know. I think
Champions League football actually, the top 4, and if your team isn't challenging for that top 4 spots, then I can see him wanting to go and play Champions League football because he wants. And also, as an England fan, if Grealish, obviously he's going to play in the Euros this summer, but imagine in the World Cup in 2022, after 2 years under Guardiola, and you've got Grealish and Foden play under Guardiola for 2 years, and they turn up at the World Cup together with Harry Kane and Sterling and the rest of them.
See, I don't know. See, sometimes I like the romanticism in football. Like you've got, I mean, it's one of those things where you got to think. Grealish has to seriously think. What does he want more in his career? Does he want to be one of the greatest Aston Villa players of all time? Would you say he's there yet? Probably not. Okay, but would you say he's maybe top 2 Villa players of all time, or does he want to go and make a career, but probably not be in the Hall of Fame? Or does he want to be, basically what I'm trying to say is, does he want to be an Alan Shearer, a Matt Lettice, or does he want to be, I don't know, a Carlos Tevez? Carlos Tevez won some league titles, and that was it, really. He's not remembered that much.
Boyd, you want a Champions League?
Yeah.
Surely there's players that are better, that are higher regarded than Grealish.
Well, yeah, no, but obviously,
he's only been that. He's been obviously good, but he's only been at the top level for like a year and a half.
It's because of
he's been playing in the Championship, second division of football, so he can't be that good already. He needs to win you trophies. Unfortunately, that is the. If he's that good, he needs to win you trophies like Bobby Moore for West Ham won us FA Cups, I think. He won the World Cup. He won the World Cup for England. Pete, that your player who won you the European Cup. Yeah. These players to go down as like Mark Noble, for example. A great club legend, but he's not right at the top because he didn't win anything.
It's like obviously we have our Peter Witts, even Juan Pablo Angels. Like we have some great players like Dwight York, Peter Schmeichel. We've had some great players. Grealish is probably there because he's been a Villa boy. Like it's probably more the loyalty side, which
Gabby
is probably.
Bonner's going to be fuming Emerson's his name.
No, obviously Gabby Bonner, but that was a time where if Villa had just got a couple more points, it would have been in the Champions League, and it could have been a lot different.
Yeah.
Like, and with Grealish, I still to this day do not think he'll ever leave. I do not think he'll ever leave, because the 5-year plan is a sense of we're giving Dean Smith money to push on. We have the money to throw it in. Like the players we're looking to sign are quality. And
you have made some good signings. Last summer you did make some good signings.
Like
you've got to repeat it. You have to repeat it.
Thing.
That is key.
The first season we come up, we had signed 13 or 14 players. We didn't have a team. Like either our team was on loan, like your Tammy Abrahams, your Tyrone Mingses, he was on loan. So, and then we had players like Albert Doma. You seriously think Albert Doma can handle it in the Premier League? Who do we have?
That's why you got rid of him.
Glenn Whelan.
Yep.
Glenn Whelan. That's why.
Well, you've got to improve your team.
Yeah.
But, has any more Villa questions we've got?
Well, we've got sort of a...
If you've got generalised questions, we'll answer them later. But
Well, general one with Villa in it.
Okay.
So Transfer Time has said best to worst. I don't know if this means this season or let's make it a bit controversial. Let's just say all time best to worst clubs.
Transfer Time meant this season.
This season. Well,
I
like all time.
Well, I don't like
West Ham, Chelsea, or Villa.
I think if we go on this season, West Ham, Chelsea, Villa, all time, Chelsea, Villa, West Ham.
Oh, okay. I thought you were. Oh, never mind.
No, Chelsea and Villa.
I thought you were going to say
European
West Ham
Cups.
second, and there was going to be beef, but no.
No, Villa's won a European Cup. I can't argue in that.
That's quite important. But would you say Arsenal are a bigger club than Chelsea?
Yeah.
But
No, but it's the European Cups
Chelsea have
aren't
won a
the be-all or
European-
end-all.
But you just said
Wait,
you
did
just
you say
said
Arsenal are bigger than Chelsea?
well, you just said Villa are bigger than West Ham because they've won a European Cup.
Yeah, but,
Chelsea?
Yeah, but okay, but it's not just European Cup, so it's not just how many fans or how big your stadium is. It's all these different factors. Arsenal historically have been the biggest club in London.
Yeah,
they still are.
They literally their history defined like
And Community Shields.
Yeah, but if you take
20
Chelsea's, if you take
I think
Chelsea-
about 50% of
if
their
you take
trophies are
Chelsea's
Community Shields
history
and
from
FA
the
Cup.
last 17 years away, then they're as big as West Ham.
Yeah, but it still happened.
Yeah, but Arsenal.
Also not. We've
Arsenal
also
have won more league
We
titles.
also won 3 European
Arsenal
trophies
won
before
one
that.
Historically, Arsenal never been relegated. Historically, they've always been at the top.
And you're of Everton.
So
Yeah, but
Villa until about 4 years ago.
yeah. No, but Arsenal have always been at the top. Chelsea have been in the Division 2. Like I'm talking, Arsenal are the biggest club. I don't have a massive problem with Arsenal, but I don't like to big them up too much either. But when the praise needed, there is. They've never been relegated. Chelsea being in Division 2 club. If you're talking about the last 20 years, Chelsea. If you talk about the whole of history,
I'd still say Chelsea.
But you still haven't won a Champions League.
There's 100 years before Chelsea got Abramovich that Arsenal are better than.
But what is the biggest trophy in world football?
In club football.
Yeah, but
In club football, it's the Champions League.
Yeah, but okay. If you're going on that, then Forest are bigger than Chelsea.
Well, you've got to come
So that's why
as
you've got,
well.
yeah, exactly. That's why you've got to go for loads of different factors. So Champions League.
Brian Clough is a legend, though. I absolutely love watching Brian Clough documentaries.
Yeah, he's a good lad. But for me, Arsenal are the biggest club. Just not from what they've necessarily won, but they've always been up there. They've always been up at the top of the table.
Well, I'll tell you for a fact.
I'll tell you for
a fact. In 20 years, we will have won more Champions Leagues than just one. Arsenal would have won 0. And we would have won more league titles.
That's a prediction.
In 20 years' time, we will absolutely win. We will overtake Arsenal in total Champions. Huh?
You're going to win another Champions League in the next 20 years.
Next 20 years, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We could even win it this year, to be fair.
So you haven't won a Champions League in 9 years.
Yeah, but
Arsenal never won a Champions League.
Arsenal have never won a Champions League. Nobody else has won it.
That's
I
a
mean,
bit
Real
prediction,
Madrid
but
have won about 5 in the last 11 years. Like, they only lose 6 other ones.
Win.
Like,
Yeah, you probably might, but that's the prediction. That's nothing to do with now at all.
I'll still say
West Ham could get a billionaire owner in. Red Bull could buy us, and we could win 5 Champions Leagues in 5 years. And then so basically, actually, I'm saying now, actually, West Ham are bigger than Chelsea because we're going to win 5 Champions Leagues when Red Bull buys us. That's so. Like, you can't just predict the future and say,
if we're predicting the future, Villa will be in the Champions League within the next 10 years.
I thought it was 5 years. Your 5-year plan.
Well, yeah. No, 5-year plan to get to Europe. That was a 5-year plan.
Yeah. I've got one more Villa question anyway. Then we've got a couple random ones. So Jensen's put, will John Grealish make a big impact coming into the season from his injury? And I'm gonna twist this. I want to say, how big an impact will he make? AKA, the PFA Player of the Year is being announced tomorrow morning. You have the deciding vote, Boyd. Who are you going to go for?
Yeah, but he's biased.
But are you genuinely? I want you to put away all bias. Are you genuinely going to put Jack Grealish as PFA Player of the Year, or top 2?
No,
top two.
Top 2.
Ruben
Diaz.
He's going to win the league for Man City.
No, hear me out on this.
Okay.
Right. So, the impact he's made on the team. So Gundogan,
Thomas Souček, he's made just as big an impact on us as Grealish has.
Has it? Like, that's the thing. When we're talking about the Souček now, I was going to say, so if there's no corners in a game...
There is corners.
No. Right,
he's changing the game altogether.
No. So that's what I'm saying. So if there isn't a corner in the game at all, so it's just on the pitch, and people.
Right.
Don't
So if in your imaginary world where corners aren't a thing,
yeah, Souček would be nothing. He would be nothing.
I think he's still got a lot of goals from non corners.
And okay, so
Not a lot.
You can't say you can't take a thing that's been in the game for over 150 years and just take it out.
Yeah,
for an example.
So I'm saying, make an impact. Souček doesn't make an impact unless he scores. Grealish cannot score. That's
so untrue. So untrue.
Grealish can make an impact by not scoring. Like he can play.
If anything, I'd say it's the other way around.
No, because Grealish he ball carries. He's a ball carrier. He assists. Look at how many assists he's got.
Souček doesn't create anything.
Yeah.
He always scores it, but then his defensive work makes up for that.
I was just gone from PFA Player of the Year to Souček being compared to PFA Player of the Year.
Honestly, yeah.
I was trying to go Grealish Bruno.
Honestly,
Souček.
Honestly, how many nominations are there for the... I'm not saying Souček.
I think they get about 6, didn't they?
I think Souček will be in it.
I think it'll be Ruben Diaz, Jack Grealish, Bruno,
Gundogan,
Harry Kane.
Emi Martinez.
No.
Go to bed.
Honestly,
Harry Kane will be in there. I would have sent Shingman's son if Tottenham remembered how to play football in the last 3 months.
Bruno, Gundogan, Grealish,
everyone
Souček,
picked their 6.
Gundogan. I say Gundogan.
Gundogan, yeah. I think you mean
so
Ruben Diaz.
I'll go Harry Kane.
And Ruben Diaz.
Yeah, Ruben Diaz.
Yeah.
So,
Mason Mount. Lampard tax. If Tuchel was here from the start of the season, Mason Mount would be in there.
23 and under, isn't it? Remember Sterling?
Yeah, no, but Ruben Diaz has that in the bag.
Oh yeah,
Ruben Diaz qualifies for that somehow.
Alright, so I think Ruben Diaz will
absolute free.
And the thing is, like, we haven't talked about, Emi Martinez should be up there with a shout. Like, so, alright, picture.
Yeah, but so should Edouard Mendy. But I'm not going to say he is.
No, he hasn't.
Well,
hey, come on. He hasn't been bad. Edouard Mendy's been great.
He started off good and he had a dip, and then as soon as
how many occasions has Edouard Mendy kept you a clean sheet?
Probably never.
Brighton away. Emi Martinez basically.
Yeah, that's because your defence is poop.
It's not, is it?
Your defence ain't great.
I'd say
it wasn't. It's not as good as
our back four is probably better than England's back four.
We've got the Donkey Christensen playing like prime Maldini. I don't know what's happened. Thomas Tuchel is a legend.
Well, 4 of your back 4, all your back 4 are English.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So all of them are going to the Euros then.
I would say maybe apart from Matty Cash, because there's about 1 billion right backs, and obviously Gareth Southgate loves his players. He
was also saying to me in the car that Matty Targett should be in over Ben Chilwell.
Yeah, Luke Shaw, Matt Targett are England's 2 best left backs.
I'll go Luke Shaw.
I'd start Luke Shaw. I don't know what's happened to
Aaron Cresswell deserves a shout. He's been unreal this season.
I suppose he's been playing like left centre back.
Yeah,
he plays left back. We played left centre back for like 5 games.
So Tyrone Mings, he'll be in the squad anyway because he has been. Esri Konsa is probably on form at the moment, up there with John Stones in the best centre back.
Best English or best centre back? Best English. Oh, best English. Alright, I thought you meant best centre back.
No. The thing is, if Harry
there isn't many, is there?
If Harry Maguire didn't get sold for 80 million, he would not be in England's team.
I think. Do you know my unpopular opinion? I think Harry Maguire's underrated.
I think he's perfectly rated.
I think he's
perfectly rated.
And because no one rates him. And I think he's actually all right.
I think his issue is.
I watched him against Man City. He looked good.
I think his issue is when, like Jack said when he was on the other week.
He has a big mistake in him though. That's the only thing I'd say.
Like Jack said, him playing with Lindelof makes him 10 times worse because Lindelof is the exact same player as him, just weaker and a bit more rubbish. When he plays with Eric Bailly, or if they bought Koundé, I think Harry Maguire would be absolutely serviceable.
I think he'll be Maguire and Stones starting at the back for the Euros. But anyway, we've actually I think 2 weeks time or maybe a week next week. I think maybe 2 weeks because that's when England are playing. We've got an England special where we'll be talking all things England with Jacob. But we'll leave some of that for now. But we can talk about Villa players.
But yeah, like going back onto the centre backs and that. But all right, yeah. So this is PFA player, isn't it? So. You're gonna
have so many tangents.
Yeah,
we are absolutely waffling.
Yeah, we need to probably start this quiz now. Actually,
yeah. Let me rattle off 3 really quick fire questions, then we'll hit the quiz. All right, we've waffled about Villa enough. Charlie Sargent said Rafinha is better than Eden Hazard this season. This season, absolutely. I actually really like Rafinha.
Well, at the moment, yeah, but
at the moment, I think Bertrand Traore is better than he's
at their best. No,
at their best, no. Why is Morgan Hill says why is Curtis Jones so underappreciated and how long till he wins a Ballon d'Or? I think nobody answer.
Curtis Jones is probably the most overrated Scouts player I've ever seen.
To be fair, if he played in Man City, he looked good, but he's got nothing on Phil Foden.
Okay. And then Jack Frayne says, where will Mbappe and Haaland go next? Are they the next big things? Well, they obviously. I think the last night was the passing of the torch, wasn't it? It was the passing of the torch. They are absolutely unreal. I think Mbappe is tailor-made for Real Madrid, and Haaland
tailor-made for Man City.
Tailor-made for Man City, really. I think. Yeah, I think
that's a good shout. Yeah. All right. So this quiz, everyone, I've named it. Who is the scorer of the 2-1? So it's a bit of a weird name, but basically what it is.
Yeah, we need a snappier name than that.
We need a snappier name, but for now that's what I'm going to call it. Basically, I'm going to give Boyd 5 questions and Dan 5 questions, and each game I'm going to give them a game. The score of the game was 2-1. And all they have to do is give me the winning goal scorer of that game. It's the most specific
quiz I've ever heard in my life, but I reckon it could be Jack's.
So yeah, I've got the answers on here. So if you could just sort of...
Oh yeah, I'm going to face this. I'm going to face the camera.
Try and look away.
I'll
facing the camera.
So I was going to let you pick the questions, but I think I'll let you have your own questions. So I've started off quite easy. Boyd, as you were the guest, you'll have to go first.
Okay.
Obviously as well, it's 2-0 to the guest as I beat Scott marginally on the winning questions last week, and then Dan beat Jack the week before. But your first question is, Boyd. The game is Aston Villa 2, Derby 1 in the playoff final. Who scored the winning goal?
Oh, that was Anwar El Ghazi.
Is Anwar El Ghazi your final answer?
No, it's not. It's John McGinn.
Is John McGinn your final answer?
John McGinn's my final answer.
Damn it.
And the answer is John McGinn.
I knew it was John McGinn as soon as he said that.
No, I literally just thought of the shot he took. If you remember the goal, I literally just thought Anwar El Ghazi cutting aside shooting.
They both scored. Anwar El Ghazi scored the first one, and then McGinn made it 2-0, but then obviously it's still the winning goal.
If you didn't offer him a final answer, I would.
That's it. From now on, I'll let Dan have one.
It's first answer only. First answer only.
But because I've given you one, I'll let Dan have one.
Yeah.
But after that, it's first answer only. So Dan, your one, which you should get.
Yep.
Because it's starting off easy.
Yep.
Benfica 1, Chelsea 2, Europa League final in 2013.
I'll give you all 3. It was Torres, Oscar Cardozo, and the winner was the 93rd minute from a corner, Branislav Ivanovic.
Yep. You don't get any extra points though for giving me other.
I just want to flex, to be honest with you. Cardozo was a penalty from an Aspilicueta handball.
That is 1-1. Right, Boyd. I've got a game that aston Villa are involved in this season.
This season?
It was Manchester United 2, Aston Villa 1. Who scored the winning goal?
Jesus. I wouldn't have a Scooby.
So
his team are involved, so he probably watched it.
Yeah, I did. I remember the game because they got a very controversial penalty.
And it was 1-1 when they did score.
So this is Man United's second goal.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think.
Oh, I remember now.
The penalty was the penalty 1-0 or was that 2-1? I'm trying to think. I'm gonna say Bruno Fernandes penalty.
I think it's Pogba.
It's Bruno Fernandes from the penalty spot.
Did Pogba score the first one?
I can't remember. I looked earlier, but
it was from the header from Wan-Bissaka down the line. Yeah.
Right, so Dan.
Yep.
Again, I've picked a game Chelsea are involved in this year.
Yep.
Wolves 2, Chelsea 1.
Oh, Jesus. That was awful. That was when we threw up like 20 people in the last minute. It was Pedro Neto. Because I'll tell you why exactly I remember that. I transferred in Pedro Neto on my FPL, realised he had Chelsea next. I thought, I'm just going to put him on the bench. You know, Wolves are a big game. He got about 12 points on my bench. Didn't get it because he got the winning goal.
System free bonus.
Something like that, yeah.
Yep. Love that. That's what Otto say, that American French... No, he's not French. American Wolves player.
Otosawi.
Otosawi, however you say it.
Yeah.
Is he French, not American?
He's American.
I thought he was French.
No. Okay, so now it's going to be ramped up a little bit. The questions are getting harder. This is a game from last season, Boyd.
Oh, God.
Man City 2, Chelsea 1 in the Premier League.
For me? God, Man City 2,
I'm ramping it up. We've had 2 easy ones now.
Oops.
Dan might know it because he probably watched that.
Yeah, I know all 3 of them.
At the Etihad.
I know all 3 of them.
Oh, God.
I didn't know this before I looked it up. Obviously the game has to finish 2-1.
Man City 2, Chelsea 1.
Boy, do you want me to help you out?
The only Chelsea game I can think of.
Actually, no, that'll give it away.
Got absolutely slumped.
No, they'll give it away.
And Aguero scored that screamer. I'm trying to think. Last season. It's in the Premier League, yeah.
Premier League
at the Etihad.
I think Chelsea went 1-0 up as well.
Yeah, we did.
I can say Kante scored.
Yep.
You got Man City last season.
Kovacic assist.
Man City last season. I've just got a bit of a punt here. I'm gonna say Man City. Raheem Sterling.
Ooh, when you said the R, I worried.
Was it Riyad Mahrez?
Yeah.
It was Riyad Mahrez.
I was gonna say Mahrez.
De Bruyne scored the first from a massive deflection.
Okay, Dan. Again,
Yep.
you've got. I'm trying to keep the questions fairly similar in how hard they are.
Okay.
So it's probably there's another draw, and we'll have to go to another tie.
Tiebreaker, jump cut for a tiebreaker.
But it is Tottenham 2, Brighton 1, Premier League last season.
Jesus Christ. Last season? Because this season,
1920.
This season it was Bale. Oh, I do not have a
I
Scooby-Doo.
think I remember this.
Tottenham 2, Brighton 1.
Yep.
I remember this.
So Brighton won 3-0 on the reverse leg, didn't they?
This season, I think, didn't they?
No, that was the game that got Poch the sack, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
I remember this game.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
What the hell do you remember
It
Tottenham
was around
Brighton?
Christmas time. It was around. I remember.
Why the hell do you remember Tottenham Brighton game?
It was New Year's Day. Was it New Year's Day? No.
I don't think it was that late. I think it was earlier.
No, it was Christmas. I remember.
Toby Alderweireld.
Incorrect.
Who is it?
Dele Alli.
Literally, I've not got a clue. Have not got a clue. about that.
Right. So now we're pumping up even more.
Don't you know?
Some Champions League ones.
Oh, boy's got no
My sort
chance.
of time.
He hasn't watched Champions League for 45
God,
years.
You said championship. That'd have been my sort of time.
But everyone watched this game. Boyd.
Okay.
Juventus is the first leg. Oh no, the second leg even. I think it was Juventus 1, Ajax 2. I think it was 3-2 to Ajax on aggregate. So they went through to the semis to play Tottenham. Champions League quarterfinals, 18-19.
Yeah.
Who scored the winning goal? I remember it.
For Ajax.
For Ajax, yeah.
Juventus. I'm trying. All I can literally picture from the Champions League is Hakim Ziyech against Real Madrid.
That ball he put over. Was
Yeah. And then they scored the free kick. I'm trying to think. Ajax going forward. Who do they have? So you got. Because I haven't got a clue. So it's again, it's got to be another punt here.
You didn't watch it.
No. 18-19 was Championship days.
Champions League was still quite big though that year. That year was really big.
Not for me, because that was Tuesday nights in the Championship. I wasn't paying attention to the
true.
Champions League. I'm just going to have to go... I haven't got a clue. I'm just going to go Hakim Ziyech.
Van der Beek, wasn't it?
Van der Beek scored the first one,
Oh, right.
but it was it's quite ironic because now he plays for them. But it was a Matthias de Ligt header to make it 2-1.
Right.
It was a really good goal, actually, really good header.
Okay.
Fun fact as well, we'll go on to this later, but I just want to mention it just because he plays for Juventus. But Cristiano Ronaldo, in the last 3 years of the Champions League, has been knocked out to Porto, Ajax, and Lyon. Your next question, Dan. Currently still 2-2,
I can take the lead.
but you can take the lead here. The same year, I tried to find a little bit of an easier question, but there was no 2-1s from like the quarterfinals onwards.
Yeah.
So I had to go with this. I don't know if you get it, but if you do get this at home, then very good. Roma 2, Porto 1.
Oh, for God's sake.
Porto won the reverse leg 3-1
Oh, for
and went through into
God's
the
sake.
quarterfinals. But it was obviously a Roma player.
18-19?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Edin Dzeko.
Edin
Man of
Dzeko
us.
is the obvious answer, but it wasn't. He actually got a double on the night. It was Nicolo Zaniolo. Still plays for Roma.
You've been shafted with that question. Yeah, you got Team Receiver.
I has nothing to
yeah,
say.
I remember that.
I have nothing to say.
He
Nothing
actually
to
looks
say.
like a really good young player.
He's done his ACL.
87
Right?
rated cap.
Has he?
Yeah, I think he's done it in his ACL.
Okay, so now this one I've made it a little bit easier for the final question. This is Champions League finals.
Okay.
So Boyd, your question, actually for the final question, because it could be anyone. Do you want the question I was going to ask you, or do you want the question that I was going to ask Dan?
Oh.
Nicolo Zaniolo was my last answer, by the way.
Yeah.
So that's the level of questions he's asking me.
He can't shaft Daniel twice, so I'm going to take Daniel's question.
Okay.
'Cause he can't shaft Daniel twice.
So-
with other questions.
The question is, who scored the winning goal in the Champions League final in 2007? Milan 2, Liverpool 1.
Oh my God.
I know this one.
Daniel could have had this.
I know this one as well.
If you get it wrong, I'll let Dan answer.
Huh?
He won't get it. He won't get the point.
Oh. So the winning goal for Milan,
Yeah.
2007.
Yeah.
2007. That was
Oh, actually,
That was surely before.
no, I don't know this one.
That was surely before Ibrahimovic's time. So it can't
No,
be
I
it.
don't know. Telling a lie. Well, Ibra's never won the Champions League. Oh, shouldn't have told you that. Or am I trying to trick him?
I haven't got a clue, but it can't. It's probably before his time.
You know who he is.
I know who he is.
Yeah.
Samuel Eto'o played for Inter Milan. I'm just trying to think outside the box. Because if I know who he is, I'm gonna say. I haven't got a clue. This is really gonna bug me. I know it is.
You got 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Name an AC Milan player from 2007-2008.
6 or 7.
06-07. Oh my god. I'm gonna say.
This was like prime AC Milan, so.
I'm gonna say Maldini. That was probably way before his time, wasn't it?
Way
No.
after his time.
Oh yeah, that's.
No, I think he was still there. He was just
What was
about
your
40.
guess?
Well, I thought it was a Crespo brace, but I was thinking of the 05 final when he scored
Yeah,
a brace.
it
I think
was
it's actually Shevchenko
he's
penalty,
got an
wasn't it?
icon card on FIFA.
Shevchenko?
No. Filippo Inzaghi.
I'd have never gotten that.
Yeah.
Daniel, these were the last two finals that I picked that finished 2 Champions finals that I finished 2-1. The other one that was originally Boyd's question that
So easy.
I think
isn't
he would have got was Dortmund 1, Bayern 2, Champions League final 12-13.
Oh, sorry, man.
Boyd chose the swap.
Oh, dear. I told you,
I
Nicola
know.
Zaniola.
Huh?
Nicola Zaniola was my answer before.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have picked my ones.
I know why he's picked this as well. I think. Oh, that's the answer I've gone for.
Well, no. Well, the first goal scorer was Mandzukic. Then Gundogan equalised from a penalty. And then the 93rd minute, Ian Robin scored the
I
winner.
knew it. Oh.
Yeah, so it's Dan takes all the points.
I mean, if any of you, by the way, if any of you got Zaniolo genuinely without cheating, you have an open invite to next week's show.
Yeah.
All right, you have an open invite because that is ridiculous.
I know. Oh,
Dan's question was really hard. But I thought he might have got Filippo Inzaghi, that's why I did it. And I was trying to keep it the 2-1 things. I picked the last 2 finals. But as it came to it, I thought it's a bit harsh giving these 2 questions to Dan that he didn't get. So
He definitely can't have been
I
Sheffield.
gave
I
Boyd
think
the option to
he was
swap, but he chose to swap. So it means that it's 3-0 to the hosts.
Phew, man.
It's easy, I'm afraid. It's
Boyd,
just light work. It's just light
along
work.
with Scott and Jack, takes a big L.
And to be fair, I swear I knew Boyd's first one as well.
Oh
Oh yeah, I knew the Brad Mahrez one as well. So I got.
I had in shame.
Yeah. So
I'd have known that. I am Ruben.
we're going to move on to our predictions now. And last week I forgot to tally up the weeks before's predictions. So we got 2 predictions to reel off. So the week we had Jack on, Dan only got 7 points, Jack got 10, and I got 17. So I stormed that week. I think I got like 4 correct answers, like spot on. I don't know if Dan got 1. But then last week, Dan did a little bit better with 9. There was less games, which means the scores were a bit lower. I got 7 and Scott got 5. So that puts our overall tallies on. And also, the guest wasn't here for the first week, but we gave them the mean average, which is 9, because I got 12 and Dan got 6. So far, after the 3 game weeks, we're going to go up to the end of the season, is Dan's on 22, Guest on 24, and I'm on 36. I've got a big lead at the top, but obviously you've got a long way
If you ever
to go.
want physical evidence that the Wiseman jinx is a real thing, there you go.
Yeah, just good.
It is a real thing.
He's got like 2 answers correct. So you've had last week you got the Chelsea one spot on. You said 2-0. I think there was another one that you got.
Yeah,
right.
I don't jinx my own team. That's the only stipulation with it.
So yeah, hopefully.
Boyd, you got to do a bit better
Boyd,
now.
you can help the
You got to
guests
claw back.
and Dan catch me up.
Right. So I think me and Joe we already gave our prediction for Newcastle Villa, which
do
is
it
tomorrow
again.
because we're filming this on a Thursday.
I can't remember what I said. I think I'll go 1-1 though, because I think that's what I said.
I can't remember what I said. I probably
Screenshot
said
that.
2-1 Villa. What are you going to say, Boyd?
3-0 Villa.
Oh.
Bold, get out there. All right.
Oh, you're going to score 3 goals without Chip Grealish on the pitch. That's bold.
Ollie Watkins with 2, Bertrand Traore with 1.
Bertrand Traore, if he figures out how to put his feet on the right legs.
He had
That'd
a
probably help.
masterclass against Newcastle at home, by the way. He scored with his right foot from the edge of the box, crossbar and in.
Let's see. The guy plays like a samba dancer. Right, Saturday we have got Leeds Chelsea. I'm gonna go for the exact same as the home one, 3-1 Chelsea. I think Leeds are gonna attack enough to get one goal, but we're just gonna completely catch them on the counter.
Ellen Road.
At Allen Road. But Leeds are poor, out of form. They're out of form as well.
Yeah, but Leeds are so unpredictable. They could be out of form. They could just show up.
And they got Rafinha, who's better
I'm
than
going
Hazard.
to go 3. I'm going to just go 3-1 Chelsea as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 4-1 Chelsea.
Okay.
Actually, no, 4-0.
Oh, okay.
Clean sheet for
Chelsea won't win. Chelsea won't score 4 goals.
Yeah, if we're scoring 4, we're conceding 1. It's either 2-0 or like 5-2. There's not going to be anything in
I'm
between.
sticking with 4-1 actually. 4-1.
Right. Palace versus West Brom.
Oh my god! Please tell me it's not.
Should we even bother? Should we even bother with this one? 0-0.
I think Palace is just a bit better. 1-0 Palace.
2-2.
I'm pretty sure I predicted West Brom to draw 0-0 every single game. They're not playing Man City, and I think I was right about 2 or 3 at a time.
I'm gonna say 2-2. 2-2 goals.
Right. Everton versus Burnley. I'm gonna go 2-0 Everton.
That was the other game you got right last week. Newcastle West Brom was 0-0. Everton Burnley.
Everton Burnley.
Oh, I really hope Burnley. I can't say that, can I?
I think if you put a hyphen in it, we'd be allowed.
No.
Yeah, 2-0 Everton.
I'll go 1-1 just because I don't want Everton to win.
I'm going for a 2-1 Burnley.
Okay. Fulham versus Man City. Interesting one. Fulham just off the back of a big win, but Man City are Man City. So 2-0 City. 2-0 City. Fulham defend well.
I can't see Fulham beat Liverpool and Man City, so I'm going to go 3-1 Man City.
1-0.
Do you know what's mental? I saw a stat earlier. In the last 23 Premier League games, or something ridiculous like that, Man City have conceded the least. We've conceded the second least. Fulham have conceded the third least in the league.
Yeah, they have.
It's insane.
Since like October, November time.
Yeah,
Fulham
it's been mental.
Very good.
Like Scott said last week, Anderson and Tosin Adarabioyo are actually very good. So the Sunday's games, we got Southampton versus Brighton. South Coast derby, kind of. I'm gonna go.
Need to win that.
Brighton need to win, but Southampton also need a win because they've managed to drag themselves. Did they win last week?
Yeah, they beat
Sheffield United.
So they probably stretched away a bit. I'm gonna go for a 1-0.
I think Southampton, they need like a couple more points to be safe. Brighton desperately needs to win. I'm going to go to 2-1 away win Brighton.
2-1 Southampton.
Okay. Leicester versus Sheffield United.
Are they really playing? I'm going to go 2-0 Leicester. Sheffield United are rubbish.
Yeah, they're quite bad. 3-0 Leicester then.
3-0 Leicester.
Okay. Arsenal versus Tottenham, North London derby.
Ooh.
It's the battle of the two clowns, isn't it?
The NLD.
I'm going to go 2-2. 2-2. Why not?
I was debating 1-0 or 2-2.
2-2, they're all good shouts.
1-0 or 2-2, that's what I'm thinking. But I don't know, it depends. Because Arsenal obviously play tonight. I never looked at the team to see what sort of team Arsenal put out. But I mean, Spurs play tonight as well, don't they?
Oh yeah. We'll be looking at those results after the podcast finishes.
Yeah, they're the 8 o'clock games, yeah, cool. I'm going to go 1-0.
Okay.
I really want Tottenham to drop points, but I can really see them beating Arsenal because Arsenal are just a bit poor, aren't they? But I'm going to go 1-1.
Right. Manchester United versus West Ham. What do you reckon?
I think we'll lose. I think it'll be 1-0 Man United.
1-0. Okay.
I think it'll be low scoring. Like the cup game, we'll defend really well and get done by a bit of Bruno magic.
I'm going to go 2-1 Man U.
I'm going to go 1-0.
Okay. Monday's game, we've got Wolves versus Liverpool. That is two teams that, again, are out of form.
Liverpool away from home, I think they'll win 2-0.
2-0, okay.
And I think, obviously, Wolves against us the other day were dreadful in the first half.
Mm.
The second half, like, it's all literally Pedro Neto. If something's to happen, it's going to be through Pedro Neto at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 1-0.
1-0 Liverpool. Right. And that's it.
That's
all the games for the weekend. Yeah, I think there's about 2 games next week before. There's like I think people are just sort of playing their games in hand.
It's because there's 3 games next week.
Because midweek?
No,
it's the other weekend.
Because it's FA Cup.
So we'll have to do like a mini one next week.
There's 4 games, isn't there?
No,
we do FA Cup as well.
Is FA Cup next week?
Cup.
Yeah.
So
that's
FA
why we're
Cup.
playing Spurs.
Yeah, we're
Right.
playing Arsenal because Arsenal's out there.
We got Sheffield United at home, so that should. I mean, if that's not an easy pass into the semis, then I think something's very wrong. So speaking of trophies, Chelsea are in a very good position to win the FA Cup.
The City will win it.
Good position to finish in the top 4. And I genuinely want your opinions. Do you think we can win the Champions League?
No. You're not winning the Champions League. It's simple as.
You've got a better chance than Liverpool. I'm trying to think. So you got to say, I reckon the final will be Man City Bayern Munich, if they don't obviously face each other.
Yeah, they're the best 2 teams. But Chelsea aren't even past Atletico yet. They've only got a 1-0 lead. All it takes is Atletico to absolutely tear up at the bridge. Is it at the bridge?
Yeah.
We're allowed. We're the only
Chelsea
team. We're the only team that's been allowed to play at home that played in a neutral venue in the
Chelsea.
Really?
Yeah, we're the only team in the whole of the Champions League.
Chelsea. What? I swear it's both legs have to be at a neutral venue.
No, we're playing at the bridge.
Because look at Liverpool. They
We're playing at the bridge. I don't know why. Don't ask me why.
All right,
Obviously, Roman Abramovich is throwing a bit of the dosh out there somewhere.
If Atletico score 2 goals early on, if they come out the blocks firing, you've got to score 3.
Yeah, but if they score,
Two,
that's a very big if.
2.
We've scored 2 goals we've conceded 2 goals under Tuchel. We're not going to concede 2 in 45 minutes.
Atletico are probably better than.
We've conceded
Burnley.
2 in 11 games.
There's only one player that's actually scored against Thomas Tuchel's side, and that's Minamino.
Yeah. I know.
Because obviously the other one was own goal. Wasn't it?
And Atletico were absolutely dreadful in the away leg.
Yeah,
I
I
think
think Chelsea will get
terrible.
past Atletico, but it's not certain.
And I don't think Bayern are the juggernaut they were last year.
Okay, I've got a question for
They're
you. Dan.
beatable.
Obviously, you could win it, but
Yep.
it'll be a bigger shock than when you last won it.
Yes.
Football's different. I'd say there's
It's
more.
not as
There's
good,
a
is
lot
it?
more runaway teams. There's a lot more runaway teams. In 2012, there was sort of like if you were asked to predict a winner,
Barcelona,
you would have
Real
said about
Madrid,
5 or
Bayern
6
Munich.
teams.
Yeah.
This year, you say Bayern or City.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe
it.
PSG.
Okay, so obviously next round, if you get through, say Man City, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich will also go through because they're also winning their ties
Which you're going to.
so far. Who are you wanting in the next round?
Well, I mean, even though they have just played brilliant against Juventus, it is a Juventus that's led by Pirlo, who, I mean, I'm just going to keep hammering the nail in. Stop hiring managers who aren't ready. Stop it, all right? I've had to go through the heartbreak of watching poor old Frank Lampard get sacked. I know I slagged him a lot, and he wasn't very good, but it is quite horrible. And now we've got an actual manager in who knows how to manage it.
Porto and all that.
I'd still want to draw Porto.
They will. They'll be different. They'll be well up for it.
They will be up for it, but we're also very good at football.
And there's also a sense of that
You're not that good.
they'll just
You're
go
not
out
that
there.
good.
We've
Two shells made you solid at the back, and you look all right. But you're going on about like your man bloody City. You're not that good. You're not that good.
Well, I mean, he's done absolutely nothing wrong in 11 games. So
No,
far.
but you're not great.
And we were also about
You're
8th.
good. He's made you good at the back. Going forward, you don't score a lot.
You don't need to. If you win 2-0 every week, you still get 3 points, don't you?
Yeah, but
Honestly, I'd be happy to win one.
yeah, but that's
every
you
week.
beating Burnley's, Wolves, these sort of mid-table, low-table
yeah.
teams 2-0. When it comes to the proper Champions League, where you're playing Man City, playing Bayern Munich, they're going to tear you up. Those 2 teams will.
I still can't.
Porto.
I agree with both of you. Like, I do think it's the honeymoon period, but I also do think he is going to make a difference.
I think the main issue is he's got Christensen and Rudiger playing like competent centre-backs when we know they're not actually. They're probably not competent centre-backs.
All it takes as well is for Tuchel to maybe fall out with a player because he has history of falling out with players. And then the whole team will suddenly go from there to there and results will start to drop off.
It's a lot of ifs and
Tuchel's
buts.
doing a great job. I think.
Yeah, it is a lot of ifs and buts. At the moment, Tuchel's doing a fantastic
Okay, so right
job.
off Porto because they are the obvious one you want.
Yeah.
Who's next then?
Well,
So you let out the teams left in
looking
there.
at these fixtures, so we've got Man City Gladbach. That's obviously Man City going through.
I'm on about Chelsea.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, look at the ties we want. Well,
You can
who's
Man City
qualified
and
already?
Bayern.
I'd want Dortmund second.
What were you when the
Haaland
biggest
against
up
your
front?
defence.
Haaland is absolutely amazing, but their defence is terrible.
Yeah, but your attack isn't that good.
You got Werner, they've got Haaland. That's going to be the battle.
Yeah, but they're not doing good in the league, and they've also they conceded 4 goals against Sevilla, and they still went through just because Haaland
Yeah,
exists.
they could do the same to you because Haaland exists.
Yeah, but I think that's Sevilla. I mean, that's a Sevilla defence
personally
that
think-
conceded 4 goals to
I
Giroud in
personally
the
think
group
Haaland
stage.
is better than Mbappe.
I think he's a better goal scorer. It's just the Ronaldo Messi debate again, really,
Yeah.
isn't it? It's like if you want somebody who's just going to score and score and score and score, you want Haaland. If you want somebody who's sort of that run and terrify, who can actually terrify a defence, and you don't know how to mark them, you want Mbappe.
Yeah.
Well, I think speaking of that Porto game, because they got through on away goals in extra time, which is always a tingy one, because Manny Trimmingham says, should we just scrap extra time?
I'd say no, but I'd say we scrap the away goal rule.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite an obvious change.
I don't know why Manny Trimmingham is going up with statements like scrapping
it's for Europa League. But then this is their only year.
It's ridiculous.
This will be the only year Arsenal will be in Europe. Next year they will not be in Europe.
No, true. No, I've had the extra time debate before, and I said only in double-legged games, not in like 190 minutes, because then extra.
Well, that's what ruined the League Cup, wasn't it? That's what ruined the League Cups, is now they go straight to penalties after 90 minutes.
Which I think is fine.
It's boring though. It is boring, and it gives an incentive to teams to just sit back and defend. Because if you think, right, well, we've got to last 120 minutes by parking the bus, you're going to go for it. If you think we only have to last 90 minutes,
it cause more upsets.
It will probably cause more upsets, but it will just make the sport a lot drabber.
But I agree. I do agree with one-legged games, extra time is needed. But when you play 180 minutes of football, I personally don't think another 30 minutes is needed. I think that's enough football to decide who's the best. And if you're drawing after 180 minutes, then I think that's certain you're allowed penalties. And also you've got the debate of whoever's playing one team's playing at home for
but that's always the count. That's always the counter when you moan that people have more away
goals. So it's so flawed, that extra time, I think.
Well, no, I think just keep extra time, but just scrap the away goals rule in extra time. Keep the away goals for the 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Keep the away goals for 90 minutes as soon as 90 minutes, because that's what they do I remember they did that in the League Cup as well. When the semi-finals were 2 legs and it goes for extra time, they keep the away goals in 90 minutes.
There's never been away goals in the League Cup, has there?
No, I think, or they might have changed it. No, I think they might have changed it when 90 minutes, in the 90 minutes the away goals don't count. Extra time away goals then come into play. Because I remember we got through against Liverpool doing that.
But then if they scrap the away goals, then all the argument is, well, then that team has another half an hour playing. Obviously not at the moment because of coronavirus, but one team has an extra half an hour playing in front of their own fans. It's so biased towards one team.
I just think it's got to be one or the other. You can't have both extra time and away goals, or no extra time. And
I think keep how it is. It's fine, personally.
Nah, because all right, it's good.
It does cause a lot of upsets, but it
away goals. Fair. Away goals is so good. You don't understand how good it is. Because it just creates.
That Porto game yesterday. There was no away
goals. You wouldn't have watched the Man City Tottenham game a few years ago.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have seen
that was in 90
the Ajax
minutes,
game, Tottenham game. You wouldn't have seen the Liverpool.
That again was in 90 minutes.
Barcelona.
The only.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. I'm talking about. I'm not talking about extra time. I'm talking about away goals.
No, I think away goals is great. Away goals is great, but after 90 minutes, once you get into extra time, don't then say if you draw 1-1 in the first leg, you draw 1-1 in the second leg, and then you draw 2-2 in extra time, and you go through because you scored an away goal in the 30 minutes. That's a load of rubbish. I remember PSG knocked us out doing that about 4 or 5 years ago, and nothing's changed since then. It was 1-1. It was literally 1-1 after both legs, and then it went 2-2 in extra time, and they went through because they scored an away goal in extra time. And nothing's changed since then. That was 5 years ago.
But then you have the argument of Chelsea played 120 minutes at home.
Yeah, but we scored 2 goals. So I don't think you deserve to get eliminated just because of that.
Yeah, it's a difficult debate, but. For one, I love away goals because it just makes Champions League so much more exciting.
Yeah.
And
it gives you an incentive to go out and play.
It's sort of the staplement of the Champions League away goals. It's not any other tournament that we watch regularly, like the FA Cup or Carabao Cup, any 2-legged tournaments. It just makes you feel.
I think the Champions League had it.
Champions League. It gets me excited. Champions League, watching these away goals because when you're 3-1, all you have to do is score 2 goals. If you lose a 3-1, if you win 2-0 in the next leg, say you're at home in the next leg,
you've got that advantage.
You'll go through. So all it is you have to score 2, not 3. So then you're going to go for it more because it's like when it's 3, you're a bit like, 3's quite a lot, but you still go for it. But I just love away goals.
I think the Champions League has it right in the group stages where they go on head-to-head rather than goal difference. I think that's a better method of doing it. Because I'll give you an example. Imagine Chelsea and Man United finish joint on points in second place again, and they go through because they have a +2 goal difference. You're gonna look back to that
Burnley game where they won 6-0.
You're going to go back to the Southampton game and say, well, that's a 9-0. That's a complete fluke because they got a red card in the first 90 seconds.
But isn't that the whole point of there being a league?
Yeah.
But I think if you finish joint on points with someone, it should be who was better out of the two of them, not who beat Southampton by more goals.
That's a load of rubbish in the Premier League. Because the Premier League is a league where you play everyone. You don't just play Chelsea or Man U.
But you get fluke results shouldn't. But you shouldn't get rewarded for fluke results. Like that 9-0 is gonna help Man United come the end of the season. But if we finish joint on points,
and that's how
it come on a head-to-head, us versus Man United.
You can't. It's not a head-to-head game. It's not Man United Chelsea playing each other every week. It's you play everyone, and you didn't beat Southampton 9-0. So that's just Chelsea's fault, not beat Southampton.
I'd also say
but we didn't get a red card against them in 90 seconds.
You say Leicester bottled it last season. They didn't bottle it because it's a season. It's over 38 games. So are you telling me Brighton bottled it because they were 4th after 5 games? Like, that's the whole point. It's 38 game season. That's a
good point.
So that's the thing.
You can bottle it, but from where you were at. But yeah, I think you do.
And also, when Man United played Leeds, they started Daniel James. He hardly starts a Premier League game.
He's not very good.
That's a tactical awareness by Ole by thinking Leeds is going to push us. Use Daniel James's pace. Chelsea, when you play Leeds, you're probably not going to play someone like that, are you?
Well, we got Timo Werner, who's just a human Sonic Hedgehog. He can't kick a ball.
He starts every game. What I'm getting at is they made a tactical adjustment to score more goals. Like because it's a season. 38 games is a long time. So 38 games should be enough to determine where you finish.
And if
it's
you're
not
level,
I
don't think head-to-head should be a thing.
No.
It's another one of those things as well where teams always moan about having like a tough last. Like if you say, "Oh, our last 10 games are so tough," that also means at some point in the season you had 10 piss easy games in a row.
I agree.
So it balances out, doesn't it?
I've got a question for you then, Dan. So it's Man City finished first, West Ham finished second, Leicester finished third, and Man United and Chelsea are level on points.
What the hell?
Oh, sorry, I've moved off my seat then.
Brighton finished 5th.
It's just my analogy for Dan. So this is what happened. And Chelsea are in 4th because they've got a better goal difference than Man U. But then they suddenly go, actually, we're going head to head.
I can't remember what our scores. I think it was 0-0 both games, wasn't it?
So that's a reverse goal difference. But say it wasn't 0-0. Say they beat you, and so they beat you on head to head, and they changed it to go head to head. Would you?
Last year is a good example because they beat us 6-0 on aggregate. So even if we had a better goal difference, if we finished joint points with them last year, but they had a better goal difference than us. If then it was going on head to head and they said, well, we beat you 6-0 on aggregate, so therefore we're finishing 3rd, you're finishing 4th, I'd just say, you know what, we were absolutely terrible in those games.
No,
you destroyed us.
No,
I absolutely would.
I think
losing 6-0 is not good enough.
That's a bigger Champions League football. That's a bigger loss. So you'd just be like, yeah, fair enough. We have better.
Well, I won't be fair enough. I'd be annoyed because I love my club and I want my club to do it.
But you did beat us twice, so you get to be above us. That's not how the Premier League works.
But it didn't. No, but I'll tell you.
Overnight, you play 19 teams. Sorry, you don't just play one team. Just because you're level on points to that so-called team doesn't mean that
in 12-13 in the Champions League, we finished 3rd in our group. Even though we finished joint on points with Shakhtar Donetsk and we had a better goal difference. But because we'd lost to Shakhtar Donetsk away from home 3-2 and we'd lost to Juventus 3-0, we were knocked out on head-to-head against Shakhtar Donetsk because we only scored one away goal. And I thought at the time, that's not good enough. I wasn't thinking, that's a ridiculous rule, change the rule. I was thinking, that's not good enough. It's different to the away goals because we didn't lose to PSG when we got knocked out. We drew and then we drew and we got knocked out. We lost to Shakhtar Donetsk away from home, conceded 3 goals. We conceded 3 goals at home to Shakhtar Donetsk. That's not good enough. That's why I thought at the time that's just not good enough. If you'd drawn or won that game, we would have qualified from that group.
And
I agree with that.
That's different. Champions League is a knockout.
So if Man United had beaten us 4-0 and beaten us 2-0 and finished above us because of that, I would have just thought that's not good enough. We didn't play well enough in those games.
Yeah, but that's not how it should be because it's a league. That's not. I don't think.
No, but it's still goal difference is the best thing for a league. Head to head's the best thing in like the Champions League where you only pitch over like twice.
Yeah, because you're only playing 3 teams, so it makes more sense. In a league where you're playing 9 teams.
Can you imagine this? So you got Man City. So you got Chelsea, Bayern, Zenit, and Molde in a Champions League group. Chelsea beat Zenit 2-0. And then they beat Molde 2-0. But who else I say? Bayern beat them 4-0 and 7-0. Because Chelsea got the job done early and scored 2 early goals, Bayern finished top on goal difference. It should be on head to head if they finish the same points.
That's why I think head-to-head's good in Champions League. But
not in a league, no way. It's over 38 games. You should be good enough in them 38 games,
not.
consistent, have a good striker that can score goals, and that's what gets you the goal difference.
Yeah, I agree.
Wish we had a striker. Jorginho's our joint top scorer this season. He hasn't scored a goal from open play.
So yeah, obviously we watched Port Juventus, and that's the beauty of also away goals. The magic of away goals for Porto, and it just makes it so much more exciting. We also watched Dortmund draw with Sevilla, but going through because they beat them in the first leg. Haaland, what a player! We can all agree.
Yeah.
Hopefully he ends up at Man City.
Hopefully not.
Reminds me of Louis Barry a bit there.
We also watched Liverpool comfortably breeze past Leipzig.
Yeah, I mean
Leipzig's had no fight in either leg.
Leipzig really disappointed me because they beat Man U. They're looking good in the Bundesliga, and Liverpool aren't looking good. And it just looked like the opposite.
It just looked like friendly.
Yeah, Liverpool looked just so easy for them. Leipzig didn't turn up at all. Very disappointing.
It will be interesting what happens in the next round. Whoever Liverpool get. I
think
English teams can draw each other, can't they?
I hope it's Liverpool Bayern. Can you imagine Lewandowski against Davis and
Nat Phillips?
Oh yeah, whatever.
English teams can draw each other now.
Yeah, I want it to be Liverpool Chelsea just because I want them to play each other because it would just be quite.
It would be like old school Barclays Premier League. That period where we drew each other about 4 or 5 seasons in a row.
I want a Liverpool versus like a PSG, even a Man City.
Not PSG.
No, because I still think Mbappe against that defence.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't like PSG's
midfield.
midfield.
Bayern Munich or Man City.
Yeah, Bayern Munich would.
Even Porto, because I reckon Porto. What's his name? Marega is actually a bit of a beast. Villa were linked with him last season.
I watched him yesterday. On Tuesday night. He's
all
right.
They've got quite a few suspensions.
He's a bit like Antonio. Like he's good, but then he's a bit of a donkey as well. We also watched PSG 1, Barcelona 1 in the Parc des Princes.
Yep.
What a goal from Lionel Messi. Still got it. Sadly, he's not got the teammates to help him win Champions League games.
I think he has been let down a lot.
And that's where I compare Lionel Messi and Ronaldo. If Ronaldo scored a penalty in the first leg and a screamer in the second leg, Juventus would be in the quarterfinals.
On that game, what was his name? The young winger.
Pedri?
Yeah, no, he was playing out the right. What was his name?
For Barca?
For Barca.
He came on.
Yeah.
Mareba, something like that.
Yeah.
Black one.
No. I don't know if he came on because I was kind of chopping change between games. But they made a sub really early, didn't they, Barcelona?
At half time.
Yeah, didn't they? It was whoever was playing right wing.
Junior Firpo.
No.
He came on really early.
Oh, was it? But it was the right winger. The bloke that was playing right wing. Whoever he was.
Pedri.
Or was it Pedri? I'm not sure.
The young one who looks a bit like Messi.
Yeah, he was very good. He was very good.
Yeah, he looks good. Pedri.
They like him over there.
I think Barcelona, if they had not got battered in the first leg, they actually looked really good last night, I thought.
Their defence is just shocking. I don't know how Clement Longley is a professional footballer.
And they sort of lost that hope for winning the game.
You can't really say that because, I mean, you know, what was it? PSG had the job done, so they didn't really go for it.
Yeah, PSG had the job done.
So you can't really say
that. And that you could literally tell as soon as Messi got that second penalty, you could tell their panic. They were thinking 6-1, 6-1, 6-1. You could just tell. And as soon as they missed that, it was literally just like, let's just be conservative. I was so annoyed,
not because I love Messi, but just because I wanted a good game.
I wanted an entertaining.
You could literally tell that it was in the back of their mind.
Second half, 2-1. All Barcelona need now
as an early goal in the second half.
An early goal and then made it 4-1. And if Barcelona made it 5-1, then PSG would have to score 2 more because of the away goals. So that's another reason why away goals is so good. But yeah, let's just round off with just talking about next week's Champions League games. Obviously, Chelsea are taking part in next week's.
So the first one we got Man City Gladbach. That's basically guaranteed. Man City 3-0 up.
2-0 already in the away leg. Yeah.
Was it? I think it was a 2-0 or 3-0.
2-0.
That's a guarantee.
It could have been 2-1, but I think
this has to be City's. Yeah. This really does have to be City.
I think quadruple's on for them.
It's on, but it's down to them. It really is.
It's just one of those times where every single time Pep gets in his position, he then thinks, right, we've been playing absolutely amazing. We've had a great formula. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put João Cancelo at left wing, and I'm going to put Gabby Jesus at right back, like right wing back. And it's like that's what he did against Lyon. It's like they suddenly played 3 at the back, and it's like, well, what are you doing that for? What are you doing? What are you doing that for? You're Man City. Like, just play your way. Teams are scared of you. Teams see that they're playing Man City. Just play your way, and you'll probably beat them. That's what they did against Gladbach in the first leg. They didn't try and
Man City will get through to the quarters.
Yeah.
And knowing Man City, they'll draw Porto as well.
Yeah.
Who else have we got then?
We'll get Bayern. We got Real Madrid at Atalanta. That's a close one. It's only 1-0.
Aren't out of that.
Yeah, it's only 1-0.
They were poor in the first leg, but
Atalanta had a red card for about 70 minutes.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, the red card.
So they will have 11 men. Were they at home?
They were. So it's Real Madrid at home now.
And Real Madrid play at their training ground at the moment, don't they?
Yeah, they get the Bernabeu redeveloped.
So they got like a 10,000 seater stadium.
Really?
Yeah.
Haven't they got like 12 injuries? Because have you
Yeah,
seen
they got a
that
lot of
video
injuries.
about them in the gym? They're on the leg press, but they got told to bounce on the leg press.
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous.
That's why their legs are so. So you
Really?
see, Luka Modric was bouncing on the leg press. So you know when you push on the leg press, he got told as he pushes to bounce.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And that's why
That's
they've
why
all
we've
got
so
leg
many
injuries.
injuries.
Yes, that's
Blimey.
why. And that's why.
They also had Shakhtar do the double over them in the group stage. That defence is
Again,
terrible.
I hope Atalanta come out firing and
That
then
defence is terrible.
score loads of goals like they always do. And then
last year.
if they score like 3 away goals, say they go 2 or 3 up, then that's,
Even just an early goal,
and
and
then
that will get them, even just a 1-0 like
Yep.
12 minutes in or something, that will get them right.
then another goal, and the more goals they score, the more Real Madrid have to score. And I
that'll
think
be
Atalanta, I can see Atalanta going through.
That'll be the game.
Out of all the games that are there,
I'm looking forward to
Atalanta
that one.
are probably the most likely who are currently losing to go through. Also, quite likely to go through are Atletico Madrid.
I doubt it.
Oh, he's gone fishing.
No, I do doubt it. They were just so terrible in that first leg, and I just can't see. I just don't think Simeone
but
has the
knockout
capability to just say,
He's a
right, let's
football
just
terrorist.
go and spank them 3-0 just to hound our demons out. It's like, no.
He just hasn't got.
They've got some players though. They've got some good players. And
They have got some good players, but it's a 4-4-2 system in the year 2021. And again, Thomas Tuchel knows how to coach a defence,
I
unlike
think
a certain
Chelsea will
Frank.
get through.
We
but,
will. It's the quarters is going to be where it's going to be tough.
But Atletico aren't out of it yet. You can't write them off. They're a team that's been in
No, of course you
many
can't.
Champions League finals over the years with the same manager, and it's pretty much the same squad. So you can't write Atletico Madrid off, and they're top of the La Liga, but the Liga is a Farmers League now.
Yeah. But you can write Lazio off with a 4-1 down to Bayern.
Oh yeah, Musiala, a bit of a snake joining Bayern, but joining Germany even over England.
And to be fair, he was born in Germany, I think.
Yeah, but he grew up here and he played all his youth football for England. But
Yeah,
then
he was
again,
our
we
youth
got
player.
Grealish and Rice from the Irish, so I can't complain too much. Bayern are through. I want to see a Bayern City final. That'd be so entertaining.
No, yeah, that'd be a 1-0 on like the 64th minute. It's just like.
Yeah, probably actually. You say this, Neil. Just the
Like,
finals
yeah.
are always rubbish. What was the last final where like Liverpool, Milan, 05? What other finals were like high scoring, like from both teams, just going at it.
Essentially, it'd be good for your game, the low scoring guess the scores. But yeah, I can't
If it was
remember.
2-1.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like for a final, you think, oh, two really exciting teams. Sit down, a couple of beers, and then it's just like.
It's
Like
like when
Tottenham
Bayern
won.
was spanking teams like 5-0 last year, and then they got to the final, and it was like one shot on target.
Do you know what excited me the most? You know when it was the Champions League and it was like the tournament, and it was like last season. And it was just a tournament.
one game.
Game. And I sat there with like a couple of beers. I was like, "Here we go." Bayern Munich of old, and
They battered Barcelona.
that was the game I was
That
on
was a
about.
good
Where I
game.
sat down. I remember I won. I must have won about 220 quid, and that was all because of Aaron. He just said, "Next goal scorer, Muller," and literally a minute after each other, it was just coming in. But yeah, I just love that was the prime. Game. Attack. That was
But
when
Bayern,
attacking
I don't think
football-
Bayern don't look the same team. They look beatable this year.
No, Bayern.
Nah,
Bayern,
they just-
Bayern,
But I think
Bayern
that's
are
the issue, it's
Giants
just-
in Europe.
It's
They-
just they just turn it on when they
They
want
haven't
to.
got
When
out
they
of
want
tier
to,
two
they
in
just
Champions
turn.
League yet.
They just turn it on.
They haven't needed to turn it on in the league.
No.
They're only a couple of points above Leipzig, but they'll still win the
Like,
league
that's the
title.
thing. Did
There's
you
no
watch-
doubt they're not winning that Bundesliga title
Did
this
you
year
watch the
That's
Dortmund game?
guaranteed.
Did you watch the Dortmund game?
against Sevilla.
Yeah. No, against.
No, when they were Dortmund were
I
2-0
didn't
up
watch
and they
it,
won
no,
4-2.
but I saw they 2-0 up and lost 4-2.
Yeah, I literally had it on in the background of the Villa game, and it was literally a sense of it went 2-0 down. They thought, oh, we've actually got to play some football here.
Yeah.
So they started playing football, and then literally just Lewandowski.
Dortmund are the most unserious team in Europe, though.
Goretzka looks good. He looks good.
Bayern Chelsea.
Bayern Chelsea, well, at least it won't be a 7-0 like last year. But
Never know.
no, I think honestly, jokes aside, we
I'm
are
looking forward to the
a
draw.
lot better team
Yeah.
now.
This is my prediction for the draw.
I reckon he's got a draw.
Liverpool Chelsea. I'm going Man City Porto.
Yeah, that's a guaranteed.
I'm going
Atalanta.
Bayern Munich PSG.
Ooh.
So that leaves. Who does that leave?
Dortmund, Real Madrid. Oh, the
Or
slot.
Dortmund,
Dortmund
Atalanta.
Atalanta.
Dortmund, Atalanta. We'll say Atalanta then.
Yeah, Dortmund Atalanta or Real Madrid.
So we're all saying that Atalanta are going to do Real Madrid then?
Yeah,
I
think
reckon they will.
Should we do our quick score predictions before we finish on the Champions League?
What, for these rounds?
Just for those 4 games.
So Man City
We're not going
Gladbach.
to add them to the tally.
Man City Gladbach.
Score prediction, I reckon that'd be just on the night?
Yeah.
3-0.
I'll go 4-0.
I'll go 1-0. Real Madrid Atalanta.
3-1 Atalanta.
2-1 Atalanta. I'll go for an away goals.
1-0 Atalanta penalties. Chelsea Atletico. 1-0 Chelsea.
1-0 on the night. So it'll...
So
I'll go
must
1-1
be
on the night as well.
Bayern Lazio. I don't know.
At Bayern?
At Bayern, yeah.
5-0.
I'm going to say 5, and I'm just thinking, Lazio are going to get a consolation. We'll go 5-1.
Yeah, Lazio's
5-0.
attack isn't too bad. I'll go 3-1 because I think Bayern will just... But they won't get out of second gear.
5-0.
Right. Well, I think we should wrap it up because we have waffled a lot. This is our longest podcast.
Yeah,
By far.
by far. So just a few things coming up in the next couple of weeks. Obviously, keep coming with these great questions on Instagram.
Yep. Yeah, we've got a lot of questions this week.
We're planning a giveaway as well on our Instagram. So make sure you try and stay up to date for that. We're going to be keeping all these polls from the current podcast all coming through. Next week, we're going to be doing an FA Cup special. And the week after that, it's going to be an England special. So if you love the FA Cup or you want to hear us talk all things England, I'm especially looking forward to that England one. We're going to be probably do our 23-man squad for the Euros as well as
some honourable mentions.
as other things, boys.
Just quick. When's the squad being announced for the coming up games?
It'll be like a week before the first game. So like probably next week.
It's 2 friendlies, isn't it? Or
No, 3.
World Cup.
Qualifiers.
Yeah, World Cup qualifiers. That's it. Yeah.
We're playing San Marino,
Ukraine.
Hungary.
Hungary.
No, I don't know. We've got Hungary and Poland, San Marino and Andorra and someone else in our group.
I don't think I'm going
Albania,
to watch a single game.
I will. I love England. I'm a big fan. Dan's a glory fan.
I just watch the World Cup. I'm like a bird. Yeah, I'm like an Instagram bird. I only watch it when it's World Cup's on.
Yeah. Pretends they love football when England beat Colombia on penalties.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dan probably won't come on for the England special. Then we'll get Boyd on and someone else. But no, we're gonna probably FA Cup special and an England special. So that's all planned and ready. Plus the giveaway, plus loads of content on our Instagram. Keep commenting down on the YouTube channel as well, and drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, because it would be a big help for us to try and make this a little bit bigger.
Yep.
Anything, Dan? Anything you'd like to say?
No, just thanks for keeping the support.
And Boyd, do you want to?
I've loved it. I loved every minute of this.
Loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
Do you want to say, Boyd? Here's the outro, and then point somewhere.
Here's the outro.